All right, we're going to start all over. All right, let's start all over. Okay.
Okay.
Tell me your name, what year you went. Okay.
Okay. My name is Wang. I went in 1991, and I came up here from San Diego.
For the reunion.
For the reunion.
Okay. And let me just go through this. So how did you first hear about the Love Boat Alumni Initiative? How did you hear about us?
Right. I think it was through the 1991 group that.
Yes.
The
The 1991 Facebook group.
Facebook
that,
group
that you came over.
That I came over
Okay.
to the initiative group.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you flew in from San Diego, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So now, tell me what you thought about the reunion, and don't be polite. 不要客气, okay?
Yeah.
So tell me the good and the bad. Like, what was?
Okay, the good, I think it was, I didn't know what to expect. So I came in, and I think it was interesting because it was a very broad range of people.
Yeah.
And a lot of people seemed to show up that didn't really know anyone else. So it was a good icebreaker. I don't really have anything negative to say.
Well, okay, but what did you think of it overall? Like, who did you meet? You were telling me about your
I ran into an old friend from high school. He was actually a little bit younger, and actually the main way I knew him is we played basketball together
in high school.
at Chinese school.
How's your Chinese?
My Chinese, it's okay.
Were you born in Taiwan?
I was born in Taiwan.
Okay, and how old were you when you left?
10 months.
Oh, 10 months?
Yeah.
Oh, but you guys speak Chinese at
speak
home?
Chinese at home.
Yeah. Do you read and write?
A little bit. Pinging helps on the phones.
Thank God for pinyin, right?
Yeah.
But anyway, sorry. So you came. So yeah, what did you think of it? Did you meet other people that
I
you
did
knew?
meet other people.
Okay.
Yeah, I met a couple different new people.
Your year? Did you meet anybody?
Yeah, I
your year?
met the people from my year, but I think they were Group C, or
Okay.
I didn't know them back then. Or I
Okay.
didn't remember them.
Okay.
And then I think the moment was going through the yearbook, and I was like, oh, I remember this person, this person, this
Oh,
person.
really? Do you still have your yearbook?
I do.
You do. Okay. Yeah. That
So
was cool.
That was cool. And I've had a few encounters over the years too, where people found me. You know, I have a friend in Taiwan that ran into my dad. And my dad took us around during Love Boat, so he reached out to my dad. And then was like, can I get in
To
touch
find
with-
you? Oh
to
my
find me, and we were
gosh,
both
that
in
is so
Taiwan at
cool.
the same time. So I invited him yesterday, but he didn't come.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. And how do you know Jim?
I met him in Taipei
Oh, wait. When were you there?
during the pandemic.
Oh, during the pandemic. Okay.
Yeah, I went back and through Bean.
Yes.
Yeah, so we met at Bean's office basically during one of the events.
And how do you know Bean? It's all these
I
connections.
met Bean, I don't know, a long time ago. Just in game industry. So he was a game industry analyst, I think, at the time at
Yeah.
Deutsche Bank.
Yeah.
That's when I met him. So I'd see him all over the world, you know, at different venues.
Yeah. He's all over the place.
Yeah,
He's
all
still
over
all over the place.
Shanghai,
Yeah. It's a really
Singapore,
small world.
Hong
It's a
Kong.
really small world. Yeah.
Taipei, LA.
Yeah.
Seen him probably in a dozen cities.
Yeah. How often do you go back to Taiwan? Your parents are there?
Yeah, my parents do.
Okay.
At least once a year. Usually for a month or more.
Oh, you do. Oh,
Yeah.
that's great.
Yeah.
Oh, so you must be quite tapped into
Yeah.
the Taipei crowd.
Yeah.
So do you know all the alumni? I mean, do you have alumni friends in Taiwan?
I usually find out that they're alumni.
After the fact.
After the fact.
Right,
Yeah.
exactly. Oh, so, we do have a Taipei team.
Okay.
Do you know that?
No, I
Okay,
don't
so
know what it is.
I was there this summer, and I reached out and said, hey, I'd love to talk to whoever is alumni out in Taiwan. Because, like I said in my speech, I had no idea so many people from Oriented were boat alumni. I guess it's only now that you start asking that question, but when we're in our 20s and 30s, who cares? It's like, oh yeah, you too? Okay, that's nice.
Yeah, what year?
Yeah, that was about it. Did you know something? But I think it's natural to assume that the alumni that are in Taiwan or Hong Kong, China, the ones who moved back, many were inspired to be there from their experience at the Love Boat. And they probably see each other all the time, so having a big reunion like last night, to me, doesn't seem like something they would be interested in. So I wanted to talk to them and see, And so that's when we had that conversation about a potential research project to, maybe I should just film myself. I'm kidding. But anyway, my point is, okay, well, see, when the camera's on me, then I start to like clam up. But it was talking to them, we were kind of exploring ideas about this research project to measure with data the impact of the Love Boat program. I think that would have tremendous significance to so many things that we would love to do. Just to know that, right? But so they agreed. So it's 4 people. It's Susan Chow. Do you know Susan?
No.
I can't believe you guys. It amazes me how when people don't know each other.
Right.
And then it amazes me of the people who do know each other. It's like, but Susan Chow, Leland Lai.
I know Leland.
You know Leland. Oh, how do you know Leland?
I think he's my friend's cousin, but I met him in Taipei during the pandemic as well.
Okay, Leland.
Yeah.
Lin Lee. Do you know Lin Lee, the dragon boat guy?
Mm-hmm.
And then Peter Wang.
Peter Wang.
The crypto guy.
I don't know him.
Okay. Well, when you go...
Oh, Peter Wang.
Peter Wang.
Okay, yeah, I know. He works at Bitfinex. Bitfinex, Peter? Compliance?
The crypto person. I don't know where Let me turn it back around. So anyway...
Yeah, I know. I think I know Peter. I know Peter.
But yeah, so those 4
I didn't know Peter was part of that. See?
I don't remember that he was alumni. I mean, I didn't know Susan was alum. I knew Susan from many years ago when I was living there.
I'm pretty sure Peter and I have talked about Love Boat now that.
Yeah, I mean, I just had no idea, right?
Yeah,
but anyway, so
last night.
Susan agreed to be our lead contact in Taipei, and then the others are so. It's brand new. This whole thing is brand new, right? And so anyway, when you're back in Taiwan, contact Susan. They're all on Facebook in our Facebook group. Okay. Lin is our Facebook administrator, so you see him everywhere. He's very active on there. But anyway, yeah. So what else do I want to ask you? Anything else you want to say? I mean, what do you? What are your thoughts about? You were telling me earlier about stage of life. Like, why do you think that there's so much interest in bringing Love Boat alumni together and back together? What are your thoughts on that?
I think it's just I'm in my 50s, right? So
even though you look like you're 18, but okay, go ahead.
So it's an interesting age because our kids are grown. It's a little bit of nostalgia, and then I think there's something we can do. I think is really what it is. Yeah, there's an energy because the connection. My friend from high school that I ran to, literally I haven't seen him since before the Love Boat. I wasn't even aware that he went on the Love Boat. But there's a lot of, it feels like one of those, my attorney who I met with yesterday called it Kismet. I told him about it, which is like fate. And then in Chinese it would be Yuan.
Yuan.
So there's a very Yuan vibe to it all.
That's true. But it's stage of life. What other reasons do you think it is that just people are so? I mean, obviously, a 6-week program is a long program to spend with people, with your peers, at that coming of age period of time of our lives, right? So that alone is something, a shared experience.
Yeah.
This is why we need to have like a. But then I'm trying to interview you, and then I'm the one who's like talking. And now, what was I saying?
You were talking about stage of life, the impact of the 6-week program.
Yeah, I mean, as we were saying, it's many things converging now. It's where we are in our lives right now. It's our shared experience of the Love Boat. It's the many good friends that we all made from the Love Boat that are still part of our lives in so many ways. And it's also the after COVID effect of people just wanting to reconnect. It's like I was saying when we were meeting, we just had a meeting. Yuan, me, and Jim just had a meeting about the future of this Love Boat Alumni Initiative, and See, I lost my train of thought. What was I saying? I'm looking at those 3 cameras going, man, this is intimidating. What was I saying?
You can look at me. You were talking about that stage of life. I think because I think for a lot of us, we grew up in a very, like there were very few Asians around us growing up. So for us, it was the first time really reconnecting independently. Maybe there's family trips.
Yes.
We were able to go back and reconnect as young adults.
Yes.
With our roots for the first time.
Yes, that's right.
And
people who said I would never date a Chinese guy or Chinese girl,
Right. I think there were definitely people that were even less exposed, like, Minnesota or like these other
the
states.
South,
The South.
yeah.
So for them, it was the first time they actually saw an Asian person that wasn't their family.
Right. Like Philip,
Yeah.
right?
Mm-hmm.
He said it was the first time he felt like he was accepted or part of a group. Yeah. No, it's true. So, any other thoughts about alumni and what we're doing?
I
And
just really appreciate what you've done.
oh God, stop! I'm not.
true.
I'm not doing it for all of you. I'm doing it for me. Okay. It's all good. It's all
great.
good.
Yeah, I think. I look forward to seeing how this unfolds.
Yeah. Okay. Well, thank you for your time.
Thank
I
you.
appreciate it. Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah.
Yeah, Love Boat was that. It was also for me. It was reconnecting with my dad
Oh.
because he was also back there that summer.
Oh.
Yeah. So
Was he involved in the program?
no.
Oh, okay. But he happened to
He
be
just
back.
happened to be back also.
Okay.
So he would take my roommates and I out for lunch, and that's how the guy that tracked me down in Taipei.
You had to connect with your dad.
I connected with my dad and my uncle. So my uncle, who he actually just passed away.
Oh. Sorry to hear that.
Yeah, it was his time. But he also picked me up from the airport when I arrived, and took me, like, I connected with the family alongside, and there was a bridge between the Love Boat community and the family, and
You know what? You are bringing up such a good point. All right, now I know what I want to say. Yeah. Now that you're saying that, for many of alumni that had relatives, even relatives not familiar with, right? Weekends, they would all go and see their uncles or their aunts or their grandparents. It was an obligation. You didn't have a choice, right? So you may not have met this uncle but a few times in your life, right? Because you just visit with your family when you're kids. But now you're here, you're 19, 20 years old. They're obligated to invite you to dinner.
Right.
And you are obligated to go.
Yeah.
And everyone sits in the order by seniority,
Mm-hmm.
right? The oldest member sits facing the door, and it's all of that, right? And so you're absolutely right. For the people, not everybody had that experience, but for the people who have family, relatives, even distant relatives, that's part of the experience.
Mm-hmm.
And the more you spend time with them, and the more you feel connected to Taiwan, right? And to the life there, the way people live, and the food, the culture, Chinese New Year, you have to, X, Y, and Z. You're right. That's a really good point.
Yeah.
It's not. It wasn't just about crawling over walls, running out to Whiskey a Go-Go, and having a blast. Of course, that was an important component. That's probably the common thread of us all. But yeah, it has much deeper meaning for the people that have family out there, relatives, Love Boat experience carried on, right? Because you're developing that relationship with these relatives that live in Taiwan. You grew up in the States or Canada. You don't know them that well. You just, ni hao, ai, ni hao, whatever. But I did the same thing you did. I did get to know my uncles and cousins, my aunts. I have so many relatives in Taiwan that it's I didn't even think about that, but you're absolutely right. That was part of the experience that bonded you, that tied you to Taiwan, and those relationships continued.
Yeah.
So for you go back once a year for a month.
Mm-hmm.
for me, I lived there for 8 years and worked there. So of course, my relationship with my, not to say that like I'm having every weekend I'm at my uncle's place for dinner, but they know I'm there. They look out, they make sure I'm okay when I was living there, you know. They forced, I had no choice but to go back for Chinese New Year. Like, I would make my own plans. The first year I was in Taiwan, oh my God. My uncle, this is my mom's brother, I would have my, you know, the holidays coming up, and I've got plans with my friends. This is me being a naive Chinese American. Like, I didn't realize that there's this other cultural obligatory component. And he's like, he just calls me the day before. He's like, oh, by the way, you're coming down to a family dinner at such and such place. Like, no, I'm not. I have plans. But like, you know, you're coming. I'll see you there. And I would be so, I used to get so irritated. I'm like, that's so, he has no respect for my time and my blah, 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 blah. He could have given me advance notice. No, there's no question. Your uncle in Chinese tradition, I don't know if this is what I was told.
Yeah, same.
In Chinese tradition, your mom's brothers have absolute authority over you. Is that right? That's what I'm told.
I don't know.
But maybe he told me that in order to control my time.
Maybe. But it was my mom's brother that was the uncle that I mentioned earlier.
Yeah, so you know.
Yeah.
But anyway, yes, that is amazing.
Yeah.
So did you meet your cousins? And
Yeah, I met cousins, and I also lived back in Taiwan for 4 years,
Oh, when?
2010 to 14.
Okay, I was there from 95 to 2002.
Okay, yeah, so we missed each other.
Yeah.
But yeah, I met a lot of my, they were little at the time.
Right, but you know what? Little people grow up.
Yeah, and now I still, you know, when I went back, they remembered me from those days.
Yes, of
I was really good at
course.
playing the Nintendo with them.
Yes. It's very meaningful. It's very touching.
Yeah.
The Love Boat is almost like a facilitation. It wasn't just an isolated experience. It's almost like a door opening to your roots, your family, your past, and the future.
I think it certainly impacted a lot of people to go back. 'Cause
Absolutely.
I spent, you know,
Absolutely,
a lot of time
100%. 100%.
there. So if I hadn't done that, it's quite possible it would have been a different path.
Absolutely. So anyway, yeah, this is
Yeah.
great. This is great. Thank you so much. Don't say anything else without me capturing it on camera. Okay, all right.